Life is a journey filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, and moments that test our inner strength. Sometimes, we encounter situations where the people we trust the most fail us, leaving us feeling disheartened and questioning everything. But within those tough moments lies an opportunity, a chance to rise above, to grow stronger, and to prove to ourselves that we are capable of overcoming anything. This is the story of a night when someone let me down, but instead of letting it break me, I turned it into a stepping stone toward triumph. It was a night I'll never forget, a night that began with so much promise and ended with a heavy heart. Someone I considered a rock in my life, someone I believed would always have my back, let me down in a way I never expected. The details of how it happened are not as important as the emotions it stirred within me: disappointment, frustration, and an overwhelming sense of betrayal. But here's the thing about disappointment: it's not the end of the road. It's a crossroads. You can let it consume you, or you can use it as fuel to propel yourself forward. In that moment of hurt, I made a choice. I decided that this setback would not define me. Instead, it would become the catalyst for my transformation. Let's face it, when someone lets you down, it's easy to spiral into self-doubt. Was it something I did? Was I not good enough? These questions swirled in my mind, but then a small voice inside me whispered something different. This isn't about you. This is about them. That realization was liberating. It reminded me that other people's actions do not dictate my worth. I began to channel my energy into self-reflection and self-improvement. I started journaling my thoughts, pouring out every emotion onto paper. Writing became my therapy, a way to process the pain and turn it into something productive. I also leaned on my passions, things that brought me joy and reminded me of my own capabilities. Whether it was running, painting, or simply spending time with loved ones who uplifted me, I focused on activities that reignited my spirit. One of the hardest, but most liberating steps in overcoming disappointment is forgiveness. It's not about excusing what happened or pretending it didn't hurt, it's about letting go of the anger and bitterness that weigh you down. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. I won't lie, forgiving him wasn't easy. It took time and effort to reach a place where I could release the resentment I felt. But when I finally did, it was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, it means choosing peace over pain. As I worked through my emotions, I realized that this experience had given me a new perspective, a deeper understanding of resilience and the importance of self-reliance. It also inspired me to help others who might be going through similar struggles. Sharing my story became a way to connect with people, to remind them that they are not alone and that they have the strength to overcome any challenge. I started volunteering at a local community center, mentoring young people who were navigating their own hardships. Seeing their determination and courage was incredibly inspiring. It reminded me that even in our darkest moments, there is light to be found if we're willing to look for it. Looking back on that night now, I see it not as a moment of failure, but as a turning point, a chapter in my story that led to incredible growth and self-discovery. Yes, he let me down, but in doing so, he unknowingly pushed me toward becoming the best version of myself. Life will always have its share of disappointments, but it's how we respond to them that defines us. We can choose to dwell on what went wrong, or we can focus on what we can learn and how we can grow. Every setback is an opportunity in disguise, a chance to rise stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. To anyone reading this who has ever felt let down by someone they trusted, know that you are not alone. It's okay to feel hurt, it's okay to grieve the loss of what you thought you had. But don't let that pain hold you back. Use it as fuel to propel yourself forward. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, pursue your passions with vigor, and never stop believing in your own worth. Remember, you are resilient. You are capable. And you have the power to turn any disappointment into a stepping stone toward greatness. So stand tall, hold your head high, and keep moving forward, because your best days are still ahead. In the end, the night he let me down wasn't the end of my story, it was the beginning of a new chapter filled with strength, growth, and triumph. It taught me that while people may come and go, my inner strength is constant. It reminded me that setbacks are temporary, but resilience lasts a lifetime. So here's to turning pain into purpose, disappointment into determination, and setbacks into stepping stones. Here's to rising above and proving to ourselves, and the world, that we are unstoppable. This is the story of how a stepmother's love, wisdom, and patience are teaching her stepson to become a mature man. It's a tale not just about familial bonds, but also about resilience, understanding, and the beauty of human connections. When a stepmother enters a young boy's life, it can be both exciting and unsettling. For the boy, it's a shift in dynamics, a new person stepping into a role that's deeply personal. For the stepmother, it's an opportunity to nurture, guide, and connect. In this particular case, the stepmother recognized early on that her stepson was at a critical juncture in his life. He was no longer a child but not yet an adult, a stage where guidance could make all the difference. Her mission became clear: to help him navigate the complexities of growing up, to instill values that would serve him for a lifetime, and to prepare him for the responsibilities of adulthood. But how does one teach maturity? It's not something you can hand over like a gift. It's a process, a journey that requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to lead by example. Maturity is not just about age, it's about perspective, responsibility, and emotional intelligence. The stepmother began by focusing on key areas that she believed were essential for her stepson's growth. One of the first lessons she imparted was the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions. Whether it was something as simple as cleaning up after himself or as significant as owning up to mistakes, she emphasized that accountability is the cornerstone of maturity. She didn't lecture, instead, she showed him through her own actions. When she made a mistake, she acknowledged it openly and worked to make amends. Her stepson began to see that taking responsibility wasn't about blame, it was about integrity. Understanding others' feelings and showing respect are traits that define a mature individual. The stepmother encouraged her stepson to put himself in others' shoes, whether it was with family members, friends, or even strangers. Through conversations and shared experiences, like volunteering at a local shelter, she helped him see the world from different perspectives. Over time, he learned that empathy wasn't just about being kind, it was about building meaningful connections. Life isn't always easy, and maturity often comes from overcoming challenges. The stepmother didn't shield her stepson from difficulties, instead, she guided him through them. When he faced setbacks at school or conflicts with friends, she was there, not to solve his problems but to help him find his own solutions. She taught him that failure is not the end but an opportunity to learn and grow. From managing time wisely to setting goals and following through on commitments, self-discipline was another area she focused on. She introduced small routines, like waking up early on weekends to help with household chores or setting aside time for reading, and gradually built on them. These habits laid the foundation for a disciplined approach to life. One of the most remarkable aspects of their relationship was their open line of communication. The stepmother made it clear from the start that her role wasn't to replace his mother, but to be an additional source of support and guidance. This honesty created a safe space for her stepson to express his thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment. They had weekly talk sessions where they would discuss everything from school projects to personal dilemmas. These conversations became a cornerstone of their bond. Through them, he learned how to articulate his emotions, a skill many struggle with well into adulthood. Actions speak louder than words, and this stepmother understood that better than anyone. She didn't just tell her stepson how to be mature, she showed him through her own behavior. Whether it was maintaining composure during stressful situations or treating everyone with kindness and respect, she led by example. One memorable instance was during a family disagreement. Instead of raising her voice or becoming defensive, she calmly listened to everyone's perspectives and mediated the conflict with grace. Her stepson witnessed firsthand how maturity isn't about winning an argument but finding common ground. Beyond lessons and conversations, shared experiences played a crucial role in their journey together. From cooking meals as a team to embarking on weekend hikes, these moments strengthened their bond while teaching valuable life skills. During one camping trip, they faced an unexpected challenge when their tent poles broke in the middle of the night. Instead of panicking, they worked together to improvise a solution, a moment that became a metaphor for resilience and teamwork. No journey is without its bumps along the way. There were times when the stepson resisted her guidance or when misunderstandings arose. But instead of letting these moments drive a wedge between them, they used them as opportunities to grow closer. The stepmother remained patient and consistent, understanding that trust takes time to build. One particularly challenging moment came when her stepson struggled with peer pressure at school. He confided in her about feeling torn between wanting to fit in and staying true to himself. Together, they discussed the importance of authenticity and standing by one's values, even when it's difficult. This conversation became a turning point in his journey towards self-confidence. Over time, the changes in her stepson became evident, not just to her but to everyone around him. He began taking initiative at home and school, showing kindness toward others, and handling challenges with newfound confidence. He wasn't just growing older, he was growing wiser. What made this transformation so remarkable was that it wasn't forced or superficial. It came from within, a result of the guidance he received combined with his own willingness to grow. The relationship between this stepmother and her stepson is a testament to the power of love, patience, and understanding. While society often paints step relationships in a negative light, their story proves that these bonds can be just as strong, if not stronger, than biological ones. Their journey together is far from over. After all, maturity is not a destination but an ongoing process. But as they continue walking this path side by side, one thing is certain: they've built a foundation of trust and respect that will last a lifetime. Becoming a mature man is no small feat. It requires guidance, introspection, and the courage to grow. For this young man, his stepmother has been an unwavering pillar of support through it all. Her lessons have gone beyond teaching him how to be an adult, they've shown him how to be a good human being. In today's world, where traditional family structures are evolving, stories like theirs remind us that love knows no boundaries. Whether you're a parent by birth or by choice, your influence can shape someone's life in ways you may never fully realize. So here's to all the stepmothers who step up, not just as caregivers, but as mentors, role models, and friends. Your efforts may not always be acknowledged immediately, but they leave an indelible mark that lasts forever. And for those navigating their own journeys toward maturity, whether you're 15 or 50, remember this: growth is never linear, but every step forward counts. Embrace the lessons life throws your way, lean on those who support you, and never stop striving to be the best version of yourself. After all, maturity isn't about perfection, it's about progress.